Hey, what up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here today as we're sitting here talking about the impending AJ Styles to WWE rumor that is not going to be going away anytime soon. Lots of rumors running wild after Wrestle Kingdom 10 that AJ Styles, Doc Gallows, Carl Anderson, and Shinsuke Nakamura will be making the trip from New Japan Pro Wrestling to be wrestling now for WWE sooner than later. Every day there's a different rumor coming out. Basically, yesterday the rumor was that Shinsuke Nakamura was not really granted his release, but sort of given like a pat on the back and we wish you well in your future endeavors sort of thing. He basically turned in that he wanted to leave New Japan Pro Wrestling on the day of the Dome show, Wrestle Kingdom 10, and there was some talk that he was going to WWE. There was some talk that New Japan wouldn't want to lose one of their bigger stars, that maybe they would muster up and find a way to keep him there by offering him more money and just making it, better for him to stay. I think that Shinsuke Nakamura really wants to come to America and, see what he can do on the big stage of WWE. He's done just about everything that he can do wrestling for New Japan Pro Wrestling, and AJ Styles is in that boat as well. I was sort of surprised by listening to the Wrestling Observer Radio today that Dave Meltzer did report that as of last night when they recorded this, AJ Styles is not signed with the company. I don't want this to turn into sort of like a Sting issue. You can remember that Sting was heavily rumored to be a part of WrestleMania 30 after his contract, I believe, expired in late January, might have been early February, the year of WrestleMania 30. Everyone thought that Sting would be making some sort of statement WrestleMania weekend, maybe showing up at WrestleMania itself, maybe showing up at the Raw after WrestleMania. And basically, if you watch the Sting documentary, Sting wouldn't even sign a contract with WWE until I believe it was the build up to Fastlane. They did the whole, because he would have to be there before the Royal Rumble, so it would have been in January of the next year. Even though Sting would sort of really be a part of the WWE family and a part of the WWE universe. Of course, he would be the main selling point of the video game. Of course, Sting would come in at Survivor Series as like a surprised guest and come down and be the winning secret for Team Cena to beat the Authority, which did kick the Authority out of power, even if it was only for a couple of weeks. He was what was there. AJ Styles, one of the best pro wrestlers there is on the market, definitely with the news of yesterday's John Cena injury. I talked about the fact that when Chris Jericho made his return, it was probably for the fact that they needed some star power from WrestleMania. They don't have Seth Rollins. They don't have Randy Orton. They don't have Cesaro. Bringing a guy in like Chris Jericho, he is a really good wrestler. He's a very, well-respected and very liked wrestler. I don't really think that there's a lot of people out there saying that, Chris Jericho is their favorite wrestler and that, Chris Jericho wrestling as a part of WrestleMania 32 is going to make it one of the greatest WrestleManias of all time. But AJ Styles making his debut wrestling for WWE, whether if that is on a Monday Night Raw, whether if that is actually at the Royal Rumble, it is going to be a debut that I think a lot of people have been waiting years for. Definitely, I don't think there's many people out there who were thinking that when they saw AJ Styles wrestle at the end of WCW, that he was one of the best wrestlers that they ever seen. But definitely, after doing a little bit of work for Ring of Honor and then making his debut for TNA and becoming the champion, AJ Styles for a while was doing things in each and every match that we had never seen before. And there's always been, it wasn't like Sting versus Undertaker, but there's always been that sort of thing in the back of your mind of like, what if AJ Styles did work for WWE? How good would this guy really be? And we're finally going to get our answer. We just got to hope that AJ Styles signs with the company sooner than later.